and Mike from 105.1 The Buzz joining us live. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, Ryan Seacrest is Bugs Bunny. He does everything at one time. He's everywhere. He's now going to be the host of Wheel of Fortune. What do we think? What do we expect?
You know, he's taking over for Pat Sajak. Those are some big shoes to fill. I've seen a lot of hate on the internet. And as like a radio person, like I kind of want to like hate on it. But at the end of the day, I think he's actually really good for the job. There's a reason that Ryan Seacrest has made it as far as he has. And, you know, I think that he has the ability and the skill set to go out there and do a great job.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great host. And the thing is, he's had a lot of different gigs, but I think right now he's still got his radio show going. That's kind of been his one long-running constant. But he just left the morning show that he'd been doing with Kelly Ripa, live with Kelly and Ryan. It's now Kelly and Mark. You know, he's not doing the American Idol stuff and some other things that he's done in the past. So I feel like he cleared a little room on his calendar. He can.
I mean, this might have been cooking in the background.
In the mix, I don't know.
This might be something he knew about already.
Yeah, I have to wonder.
Like, conspiracy. Yeah, I actually had that conversation with my husband yesterday. I was like, do you think that that's why he left the other show? Because at the end of the day, like, he's great at hosting things. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, maybe he knew that this opportunity was coming because at the beginning of his career, he actually hosted another game show. So like, this isn't his first time doing it.
He mentioned when he was getting ready to leave live with Kelly and Ryan that he was looking to be a little more consistently back on the West Coast because they film in New York. Everything else that he does typically is in LA.
Gotcha.
And Wheel of Fortune, I believe, also is out in like Glendale, or it's in.
That makes sense.
It's in the Hollywood area. So, you know, it makes sense with kind of the rest of his life, but I wondered when this was announced, I was like, the timing of the departure from his morning show was a little interesting.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, by the time all is said and done, Ryan Seacrest is probably going to have held every single job in radio and television at one point or another during his career. That's just the bottom line.
You know, I have to wonder, what do you guys think about, there are rumors right now that Vanna White, you know, may have been also wanting that job, that she might be lawyering up.
Lawyering up over it?
Would we have wanted Vanna White? Did she get passed over?
I'm about to get up on my lady soapbox, all right, because I'm very frustrated because I found out this morning that Vanna White has not had a pay raise in 18 years.
Yep.
What?
18
now,
years.
Granted, she's making $3 million a year. So.
Sure.
Which is a lot of money,
but,
you know, that absolutely is. But the fact that she's been at the same job and in the last 18 years, they haven't seen value to raise her rate.
Right.
Her, you know, her money that she's bringing in, I think is absolutely ridiculous, especially when you find out Pat Sajak was making $15 million. They haven't told us yet what Ryan's going to make, but I feel like there's still going to be a discrepancy in pay there, which is fine if there's a little bit. I get the difference between the two gigs, but the fact that 18 years without a raise and you are Vanna White, that is ridiculous.
Right? I mean, Pat's the host of the show, but I would argue that Vanna White is as much, if not more recognizable than Pat Sajak in the context of Wheel of Fortune.
Maybe. I mean,
the things, you know,
I still think Pat Sajak may be more recognizable, but it doesn't necessarily make up for that level of pay gap there. That is surprising.
When Ryan takes over, because they're saying like she's really pushing for a pay raise now, that they'll just bring in somebody else and they'll be like, oh, we'll start fresh with all new people. No, Vanna has earned. She has earned her, like she's earned this. She deserves at least another $1 million.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I don't know. I will say, having seen the show, she wasn't my favorite host when she does fill in. Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of the host gig, I do kind of understand. And before we move on, I do want to ask, because we have mentioned Ryan Seacrest is everywhere, is there any concern over like Ryan Seacrest fatigue? Because he is everywhere.
Not in this role, I don't think.
I think we would have got tired of Ryan Seacrest a long time ago if that was the case. The thing about him is, you know, he just delivers every single time.
Does a nice job.
He's a great host. Yeah, he's not particularly funny. He's not particularly affectionate. He just does the job.
Everybody likes him. He's like a jar of smooth, skippy peanut butter. You know, it's just like, I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of like the least controversial food.
Personally, I'm a GIF guy.
Oh
so
gosh.
well,
I like crunchy, but I don't know. That was a terrible example. I don't know. Think of like he's like white bread.
He is something that we all have in the pantry.
Yeah. He's vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. I don't know. Part of me kind of wishes they had, maybe changed it up a little bit, like brought in a female host and found a guy to go stand and do the little letter things. But well, I don't know.
All right.
No hate to Ryan.
No, none at all.
Yeah.
Congrats. Have fun. Just cashing in the paychecks. All right. So Pink. I feel like we've had a lot of these moments lately, and it's surprising to me how often this is happening.
Stop throwing stuff on stage.
Yeah,
people.
somebody threw something up at her.
Their mother's ashes.
Oh my God.
Whoa,
So in the middle of a performance in London, a Ziploc baggie is thrown up on stage with Pink, and she finds out that it is in fact the person who threw it, their mother. It's their ashes. And Pink says, I don't know how to really feel about this. And so she gently sets the bag on the edge of the stage and just leaves it there. Because, like, what do you do at that point? You don't want to throw mom back into the crowd. That could be, a little messy. So I don't know who takes ashes to a concert, though, and thinks that's a great idea.
I mean, I guess if your mom really wanted to go to the Pink concert and you didn't get to go with her, so here's your chance to bring her to the concert. Okay, why did you have to throw it on stage? I wouldn't want to lose them. I have so many questions. Oh my gosh.
So do I. Like, what would have happened if that bag broke while it was flying in the air up on top of the stage? Like, I don't even want to think about it. I am all for one for throwing undergarments on stage. I've been doing it for at least 15 years, but there's got to be a line, and this is something I never thought I'd be talking about.
I want to ask that person, like, what were you like? Because best case scenario is probably what happened, where the artist on stage who doesn't actually know you is like, what do I do
gently
with this?
sets them down.
Yeah, yeesh. Okay, we don't have a ton of time left, but want to make sure that we talk about your service pet for a vet reminder here. That fundraiser going on all week long. How can people help, and what is the mission?
Donate at 105 The Buzz. We've teamed up with Northwest Battle Buddies to help a local veteran battling PTSD get matched with a service dog. We are super far away from our goal of $25,000. We're currently sitting at about $4,000. So every little bit helps, and we would be super, super appreciative.
All right, come on, people. So time to get those donations rolling in. Are you doing any kind of fun fundraisers today?
Face tat
I'll be
for
waxing Mike.
You're waxing.
Oh,
yes.
Just in time for the July 4th holiday.
Oh,
Skies out, thighs out. Time to get Mike waxed.
Speedo season starts next week. Got to get my bikini lines right.
Love it. All right, guys, we're out of time, but we will see you tomorrow.
Donate now to rip those hairs off. Bye.